Chapter 140. Latecomer. 2. It was silent. What? There was nobody around. This place was near the forbidden books that the librarian had pointed out. Only 3 people, excluding the librarian, were here, and no eyes were watching us. So, the librarian's stammering sounded even louder. What a cruel thing to do. The librarian covered his mouth with his sleeve. Death King. Do you recognize what you're saying? The constellation killer died in that school's world. No, these words aren't enough. That world made the constellation killer die. It forsook him. But you want him to enter that world again to regain Kim Yul's memories. That's so. The reason the librarian couldn't finish his words was not because he was grumbling. It was because I had let go of the director's hand to hold the librarian's wrist. His sleeve slid down, revealing his bare face. The librarian was grinning. Cruel thing to do. That's right. It is cruel. I bluntly stared at the librarian. He already seemed to be imagining the stage I proposed as his cheeks burned red. But you're biased. Do you know what's really cruel? The people who lived in the Chronicles of the Heavenly Demon. The common people. The humans who turned into corpses, not knowing why, because a constellation died at the hands of the constellation killer. What they suffered through is true cruelty. Ahem. Well, that is a fair point. The librarian's eyes were half closed. So, in the end, you plan to return all of the constellation killer's memories? If I can do such a thing, of course I will. Will you make him apologize to the numerous victims in the Chronicles of the Heavenly Demon? Do you know how many constellations the constellation killer has slaughtered so far? Will you make him apologize to everyone who lived in that world and everyone who died? Yes. At least for the people of the world I've become responsible for. Death King. The librarian gasped. You speak so prettily of the road to hell. The constellation spoke as if I was a devil tempting him to ruin. It's only natural that I have favorites. I know how the path ended for a human who chose a path like yours. This knowledge is infinitely regrettable. That person. No. It is against my agreement to reveal this information. I'm sorry to interrupt this enjoyable conversation, but... I let go of the librarian's wrist and uttered softly, "Open the book." The librarian giggled. Happily. The librarian opened The Tale of the Ascending City. The trauma you dreamed of is nothing more than a fantasy. It's an artificial, temporary world. Even if you fix the ending, it cannot be incorporated into the true history. To put it bluntly, it is a side story. Honestly, I have never enjoyed such a delicacy, so I am uncertain how the stage will be handled. Black smoke billowed out of the book. Yes, black smoke. Up till now, white light was exuded whenever an apocalypse was opened. This time was different. The ominous, writhing smoke was as black as the tentacles of the void that had swallowed the nightmare. Seeing it, the librarian was a little surprised. He seemed to have noticed something. This is the shade of Srokwa's Asin. Of course. Of course. I thought that even a golden contract would not have enough power to materialize a world through trauma. Indeed. Someone very important must have intervened. To favor Death King to this extent, many people will be overcome with jealousy. Someone favored me? Who? The corner librarian is trying to negotiate. While I was questioning things, the librarian was muttering like he was speaking with someone. If so, the viewers for this stage will. That will be difficult. That world has already become the master's domain. True. Then, please leave a record in the apocalypse after the challenge is over, at least. The black smoke writhed. Good. As expected, you are a gentleman who understands reason. Our lovable clown. The librarian smiled. He stroked the black smoke like it was a cute pet. Death King. Constellation Killer. Death King's fosterer. I designate these 3 people as new characters in The Tale of the Ascending City side story. When you guys open your eyes, the world of the side story will not have come to its unfortunate discontinuation yet. But beware. Especially you, Death King. The librarian twined a black tentacle around his long finger. You have the attention of a higher-up. What do you mean? The tower remembers everything. While I gain a glimpse into your past by reading this book, the tower remembers you in the truest sense. Of course, the tower remembers that you used a shortcut to get up to the 50th floor. Because you broke the strict rules of the tower, you must receive a penalty. The tower asks you, do you really, truly trust your fosterer and the constellation killer? The black smoke on the librarian's fingers twitched. Do you believe that the one who raised you will not crumble with guilt? The constellation killer may be vengeful, and he may not even forgive your fosterer. It is possible that no one can apologize or forgive. Those 2. Do you really? The librarian glanced at the constellation killer and the director. Believe you can reach a different ending than in the past? It was a foreboding question. However, it was also a question with an answer. I'm sorry, class president. I had memories of Kim Yul and the class president. I wasn't trying to hurt someone like you. The Kim Yul I saw was a very strong person. He was someone who took care of the animals even in the hell that was his life. There was someone. I didn't think there'd be anyone. Much more than the constellation killer, who had killed countless constellations. I'm glad there was even a single person who was worth my forgiveness. The Kim Yul who met the director was stronger, as a human being. He was unbelievably strong. The director, too. The director survived in a world without Kim Yul. Yes. The 2 of them lost hope only because they met each other too late. I believed in the breath and voices the 2 shared on the roof that day. That was the truth. Not all fantasies are illusions. I opened my mouth. I believe in these 2. The librarian smiled. The poor beasts. The smoke wrapped around his fingers melted away. Swoosh! In an instant, the black fog spread, devouring the bodies of the constellation killer, the director, and myself. Prove it, if it's possible. Just before my sight went dark, I saw the librarian's grinning face before me. Though, you won't be the one to prove it. The world turned black. You will receive a severe penalty. You are being deployed to the world 1 year before the other challengers. You are immersed deeply in character from the start. I heard a voice. Currently, your immersion rate is 95%. The nightmare began. Penalty. As soon as I opened my eyes. The immersion rate is at 95%. I started to move. I don't have time to hesitate. There's no time. The immersion rate will rise to 100% soon. I have to finish all of the preparations before then. It would be easy to begrudge the cruel penalty. It would be easy to get angry, asking why I was the only one who entered a year earlier. But how would that change anything? I couldn't waste my precious time with resentment and fury. In the end, it's about forcibly grasping the past that the constellation killer discarded. So I must also be ready to receive unwanted memories. Even if they are the nauseating memories of the perpetrator of the bullying. It isn't enough to return Kim Yul's past to the Constellation Killer. Kim Yul has to feel that he wants to live again. The director will do whatever he can for it, but I made a harsh judgment. The director alone isn't enough.
Yeah.
Unlike the future, the director of this time is just a normal high school student. The actions of a single high schooler are too limited. Before I get completely engulfed in the perpetrator's ego. Revenge. I was doing what I could. So that the director and Kim Yul can take revenge on this scummy beast. I moved. Currently, your immersion rate is 95%. Last time, when I saw the end of the trauma, I belatedly felt regret. I grieved. I could have done even a bit better, but I hadn't. Maybe I was too disconcerted. Though I was possessing the bully, I didn't take advantage of what I could do in the position as the perpetrator, what I could do because I was the perpetrator. I can get evidence of the violence. That was something only I can do. Collecting proof. Everyone, stand up. In the classroom. Bow to our teacher. The director seemed to have been the class president in his first year, too. Does the student who gets the responsibility keep it over the years? His face was not that of the Black Dragon Master but the young face of my orphanage director. There's only 1 year left now. Unlike me, the director has not possessed his old self. Neither has Kim Yul. Kim Yul too was in the same class in his first year. Just like the last nightmare, Kim Yul was exiled to the back row's window seat. That spot should have been the best place to sit, but it became a sort of forbidden zone because it was easy to be bullied there in secret. Plop. Plop. When the teacher turned his back to the blackboard, students lumped the eraser crumbs into a dense ball. They cut off the sharp mechanical pencil lead into bits and put it on that eraser ball. It looked like a porcupine curling in on itself. Covertly, the other students threw the sharp rounds at Kim Yul. PFT. Kiki. Each time Kim Yul was hit by the eraser rounds, he flinched a little. He tried to ignore it, but the pointy mechanical lead made his neck turn red. Young beasts enjoyed acting on their malice in various ways. 1 year. I held myself back. This is something that happened decades ago. Society had been worse back then than when I was young. Much worse. If we want to prove that there was bullying, we need physical evidence. If it was just a single incidence of bullying, the punishment won't be much. We have to prove that it was done maliciously and deliberately over a long time. That was the only way to screw these beasts over. You had to be as vicious as they were. Hey, guys. Look here. Huh? Cocklick. I took pictures of their violence. Cell phone photos in this time were blurry. I bought a digital camera to take photos and a camcorder to shoot videos. Sun B. Nim. One of my underclassmen from middle school was worried. In the previous trauma, he had looked like Demon Lord Woleong of the 4 Demon Lords. Is it okay to take pictures of this? Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna show a few people and delete it. Hey, I'm bored, so introduce yourself. What? My name is. I recorded every single day without skipping. There was no end to the wrongdoings that I and the people around me did. Smoking was just a cute prank. I not only harassed Kim Yul but also other students often, including a middle school student. Fucker. Was this normal? Did it happen in other schools too? If so, if this happened in every elementary, middle, and high school, every school in this land, why was nobody stopping it? Why was everyone silent? How could they remain silent? Kim Yul looked up at me from the ground, having been pushed. We were behind the school. My gang and I attacked Kim Yul while he was taking care of the rabbits and chickens. We made fun of him for taking care of the animals, calling him a bumpkin. I was wondering what you smelled like. So it was.
Shh.
*T. Why are you raising chickens? To eat their eggs? Should I buy you an egg? Kim Yul didn't say a word. He just stared at me while I recorded with my camcorder. His black eyes shone in the small screen of the camcorder. Currently, your immersion rate is 95%. One day. Currently, your immersion rate is 96%. Another. Currently, your immersion rate is 97%. The hellish records piled up. It's dangerous now. It was when 11 months had passed that I felt my limit. I don't know when my immersion rate will surpass 99%. My mind had already turned into sludge. At some point, I stopped feeling anger even when I filmed Kim Yul being bullied. I felt no guilt. Only a subtle sense of ridicule and impulsive pleasure. My part ends here. I picked up a cardboard box. 103 tapes. 90 photos. My and Kim Yul's cell phones, filled with text messages, too. All the evidence was stamped with the exact date and location. It was a record of time that nobody could deny. There were no loopholes for lies such as, I feel sorry for my past mistakes, or, I didn't mean it like that. Director. I put the box down in front of the house where the director's family lived. When he was young, the director lived in a townhouse. I rang the doorbell and hid. The director came out. Huh? The director, who hadn't been possessed yet, looked around and tilted his head. Hello? Who? The director looked at the box and stopped. On top of the box was a sheet of paper I had printed something on. Plus. I'm sending you all of the evidence. Please decide how to use it. If you decide to take action, please do so after 30 days. Plus. The director had been a cautious person since he was young. Instead of taking the box inside right away, he brought out a knife to unseal the box. Then, he slowly checked the contents. The director's face hardened. He looked around once more. And, remaining vigilant to the end, he quietly and carefully took the box inside. Thud. The door closed. I finally felt relieved. I endured it. I could finally breathe for the first time since I fell into this world. It's done. I did it. I held on, and now, it's done. I did it. On the way home. I looked up at the dark night sky. I finished everything I could do. Could I have done something else? Was there a slightly better way? Will the days ahead really be worth more than the violence I could have prevented in the past 11 months? Currently, your immersion rate is 98%. I don't know. I lay in bed. I don't know, but I didn't give up because I didn't know. That's right. This must be the correct way. If anybody can change the end of this world, it's Kim Yul. It's the director. I'll leave everything to those two. It isn't my role. Currently, your immersion rate is 99%. I put my hands together. The villain just has to disappear. Like I was praying. The role given to me in this world is to just wait. I closed my eyes. I'll wait. Kim Yul. Director. Please. Currently, your immersion rate is 100%. Chapter 141, Latecomer. 3. Therefore, let us talk about my defeat. The position of the protagonist. It is the first time I, who had only played the hero's role, became a villain who had to be knocked down. I had never tolerated a defeat thus far. Any defeat would have been disastrous. If I had been defeated, all of Harlem would have been burned to the ground. 1. My defeat meant the fall of the empire. My defeat meant the end of the land of rivers and lakes. And it meant. My defeat meant. Now, for the first time, my defeat wouldn't lead to devastation. This is the story of my downfall. It is a story that would only end when I am defeated. Currently, your immersion rate is 100%. My consciousness. But I am strong. I am a manipulative and shrewd person. I don't know how you all will remember your school days. Were you happy? Did you enjoy yourself? The classroom, which was small enough to be painted with the excuse of the ignorance of childhood. Are the scenes that occurred there colored with a beautiful sepia filter? It isn't for me. I am a little more subtle than you guys. I am cunning. Maybe there was nobody like me in your school. Or maybe you simply don't remember. But I was definitely here. A person who framed his classmate. A person who has plotted and manipulated evidence to slander someone. A person who intimidated classmates to keep them quiet. If you share these memories, you must be my colleague. You, at least, will fathom my existence, and if I'm lucky, you'll even understand. That's right. While the other students were defenselessly playing in their childhood, their so-called school days, we easily hunted those foolish minnows. Our hunting was furtive. That's why people don't remember. Most people understand our skillfully hidden hunts the wrong way. Students are too immature, they're not smart enough for high-level hunting. Not smart enough? Who? Us? What a ridiculous delusion. They can't even remember what happened under their very noses. I'll first confess to those people the secret method to hunting. This is a story that happened before I became possessed. There are 2 ways a student's rank is decided at school. First, there are the students who study well. But you have to work hard to get good grades. Students hate working hard more than anything. On the other hand, it is easy to ignore or laugh at others. It took no effort. Since mocking someone is effortless, any student can join in. This is the crucial difference between study and ridicule. What's the difference? Just a matter of how many students can easily participate. You had to study for 10 minutes to raise your score by 1 on an exam, but it took less than 10 seconds to tease someone. It's much more fun to be better at making fun of others than it is to be better at studying. It's much easier. Accordingly, it is much more powerful. Unlike studying, anyone can handily jump into the game. That is why ridicule is standard at all schools. Here are the mechanics of bullying. First, the victim has to be conspicuous. Are they noticeably richer than the other kids? Or noticeably poorer? Do they have a face that anyone would say is weird? Does it smell strange when they pass by? Is their speech severely incoherent? Are they overly sincere? All of that is good. The particulars don't matter. Ridiculing is powerful because it's easy. The victim of the ridicule must be easy to make fun of. Kim Yul. There is a good reason why Kim Yul was selected as the prey of the hunt. He's poor. Obviously so. He's distinctively poor. There's a bad smell when he walks around. One's poverty could not be covered up with the monotone school uniforms. The awful thing about poverty is that it shows. Everyone could tell that Kim Yul was poor. Anyone who got close knew that he smelled bad. He is easy for anyone to ridicule. Hey. So it is easy to begin. It might be a bit harsh to say this, but when you go near that guy. Oh.
Yeah.
He did smell a little. Poor guy. Level 1. Go lightly at first. You probably know, too, that you shouldn't reveal your hand at the beginning. That would be dumb. Did he enter on a financial aid? I've known Kim Yul since middle school, and even then. Idle talk. It's enough to use the prey as a simple topic in conversation. Should I tell you guys a secret? Actually. Gradually increase the number of students who participate in the small talk. He lives there? Wow. That's a literal dump. I heard his dad is the trash collector. Huh. Could that be the same guy who picks up the waste at our house? Hey. No way. Like this, gradually brighten the spotlight on him. The initiator, here, must be careful to never reveal his malice. Not yet. You know it, too. It isn't time for that yet. Look. Isn't Kim Yul kind of annoying? Instead of saying that, say. Oh, wow. It's true. The trash collector for our house is Kim Yul's dad. This is much smarter. What, really? Of course, it's a lie. How did you find out? I was also skeptical at first. But on Sunday, the man came to pick up the trash, so I asked, "Are you Kim Yul's father?" "I'm his school friend." He acted a little embarrassed, but then he asked me to take care of his son. Dude. Really? Lies are the basis of our accomplishments. Even as they doubted me, my classmates looked at me with twinkling eyes. Those gazes, that interest, are the proof of your success. You've succeeded in drawing people to the subject of Kim Yul. Kim Yul. By any chance, does your dad? Hey. Why are you asking that? Shut up. Why not? Did you lie? No, but anyway. Sorry, Kim Yul. It's nothing. Level 2. The observation phase. Malice snowballs well enough on its own from here. PFT. There isn't anyone in the world who does not make mistakes. Students make plenty of them. Now that the class is paying attention to Kim Yul's every move, they view his mistakes like they are looking through a magnifying glass. Then, they laugh. He missed the volleyball in gym class and had to run a little farther. He fell asleep in fourth period and didn't wake up even during lunch. He stuttered a little when the teacher asked him a question.
Ha!
It doesn't matter how trivial the mistake was. Easy and conspicuous. Always remember the mechanics of ridicule. You know, he always goes behind the school for lunch. Is he feeding the chickens? Seriously? Go to the window and look. I'm serious. Something that anyone can see easily. Something that anyone can partake in easily. Kim Yul. Look up here. What? He's really looking here. Is he trying to get the chickens for free once they're grown?
Ew.
Eventually, a game that anyone can join in. You probably know, too, that most bullying ends here. Up to this point, it can happen naturally. There doesn't need to be a clear ringleader. There doesn't have to be any accomplices. You can get up to level 2 with just sympathizers. Level 2 bullying corresponds to the following. Mild violence once every 2 weeks. Group assault once every 3 months. A public beating once every 6 months. One small scar that cannot be removed on the body. If it's short, 1 semester. If it's long, 3 years. Sometimes a few students lead the violence, but there isn't a long-term culprit. But as you probably know, hey, we do not stop there. Let's test it. We take one step further. What? Look. I bought these shoes, so they're brand new. If you have successfully brought others to this point, you must certainly be good at lying. Now, you had to perform a small magic trick for your classmates. I'll draw some stars on the sole of the shoes with a marker. See? You guys saw it, right?
Yeah.
So what? I'm going to throw it away with trash in front of my house. What are you talking about? Idiot. Kim Yul's dad is the waste collector for my house. Of course, it's a lie. The trash collector for your house is not Kim Yul's father, actually. But that doesn't matter. You know what paths Kim Yul's father usually took. Will that mister give Kim Yul a present if he sees new shoes being thrown out? Why wouldn't he? So, look. If Kim Yul's father really is the trash man, then Kim Yul will wear these shoes tomorrow. I guess. I bet that Kim Yul will come to school wearing these shoes tomorrow. Now. You've privately prepared a second pair of shoes. There we go. I'll leave it here. You all saw, right? I won't ever touch it. One pair, you threw out with the trash at your house in front of your friends. Okay. The other pair had already been placed on the route Kim Yul's father walked the day before. Needless to say, both pairs have on the soles. You want to show your friends some magic. So, you pretend to draw them in front of them. If you're cautious enough, you can also establish a perfect alibi by hanging out with your friends for the rest of the day. Hey, check the shoes. It is lunchtime on the following day. We are in the classroom. What if someone catches us? Just look quickly. We're just sneaking a peek. It doesn't matter. While Kim Yul is gone, having headed down to the cafeteria, we gather. Kim Yul's desk. There is a bag holding the shoes hung on the hook. The students' eyes sparkle. Giggling to show that it's only a joke, we lift up Kim Yul's shoe bag. Then, we take out shoes that are cleaner than normal. Wow. Naturally. It's real. A is drawn on the bottom of the shoes that Kim Yul brought. Oh. Shh. *T. Then, Kim Yul's wearing what you threw out. You didn't plan this with Kim Yul, did you? Course not. He's been with us all day yesterday and today. Then, it's actually. The students look at you. Those eyes have just witnessed a fascinating magic trick. At this point, you can choose from a number of lines. It depends on your personality and preferences. Didn't I tell you I was right, is one of the options. Or, that's kind of unpleasant. You can slowly reveal your ill will. Wow. But I recommend this line. So it's true. Bury yourself in your surroundings. I mean, that old man could have lied that he's Kim Yul's dad. Feign ignorance. So I wasn't 100% sure, either. Laugh like you don't get it. Check the shoes again, acting like you're seeing something unbelievable. Then, refine your tone like you've realized some new truth. But wow. To think it was real. And take back one step. Whatever. I don't know. I'm calling off the bet. I don't need it. You guys, just pretend you don't know. This is something between just us. Let's call it quits. Anyway, I don't know. Inexperienced leaders always try to do everything themselves. As you know, this is stupid and impatient. You feel impatient because you know that the evidence and magic you concocted is sloppy. That's why you have to perform the magic perfectly from the beginning. What's happening? Just in time. The other students return to the classroom one by one from lunch. Hey, Kim Yul is actually. Huh? Tell me. Of course, you deliberately set lunchtime as the setting for your magic show. You can't waste your magic during a mere break. At lunchtime, the class returns to the room in 2s and 3s. There is enough time. It's perfect for whispering about and spreading the event that just happened. No way. They look at Kim Yul's shoes. That's crazy. It's real? As if. You sit in the back row, pretending to be asleep. You're cautious. You can never spread the story yourself. You can't get ahead of yourself. You have the virtue of a lion, which does not monopolize its hunt and shares its prey with its pride. What are you guys talking about? Come over here. What about Kim Yul's shoes? Let others have the fun of spreading rumors. Plant the illusion that they discovered the truth themselves. Allow them to gorge themselves on the bloody chunk of meat.
Ugh.
Is he picking up other things and using them, too? Trust in humanity's malice.
Yeah.
Keep it quiet, but Kim Yul's dad is actually the trash collector. We went to the same middle school. We once had to talk about our parents' jobs. Trust in the power of ridicule. That's pretty nasty. Trust in the magic of. Wow. Then, is everything he owns recycled? It's recycled, I tell you. Pfft. I feel sorry for him, but he's disgusting. Really? Oh, gross. I can smell his feet. Weren't these shoes supposed to be new? Hey, the recycling man is here. Hide it. Kim Yul. Did you come back from feeding the chickens? Your shoes look pretty clean today. After school. You all form a pack and head down to the front gate to go after Kim Yul. Kim Yul tilts his head because he doesn't know the reason, but he doesn't care. The moment Kim Yul takes his shoes out from the bag and changes. Pfft. Is complete. PFT. Hey, Kim Yul. That over there. Those are the shoes Yuncio threw away at his house yesterday. Look at the soles. The young beasts are immersed in the pleasure of exposing the truth that Kim Yul doesn't know. He is a dirty child. It's pointless even if he denies it. We have evidence. The truth is that Kim Yul's father found a new pair of shoes and gave them to his son. The truth is, Kim Yul's father picked up the shoes, carefully examined them to see how new they were, and thought it was all right, so he gave them to his son. The truth is, Kim Yul knew everything, but he silently received the gift from his father. His father's concern, his silent expression, and Kim Yul's muted eyes are the truth. But beasts didn't have the imagination to think of that. They didn't even try. Because ridicule is much easier. With the proof you fabricated, the beasts easily feasted upon. Do you have that much free time? Kim Yul said expressionlessly. Is it fun? He is composed. If you're bored, do your own thing. Stop bothering others. Then, he turns his back and leaves. The students remain silent for a moment. If someone says anything, like, hey, this isn't funny. Let's stop, things may end. We're in high school. Why are we bullying people? You have to drive away that atmosphere. As you know, it takes courage to say something like that. What? Why is he acting like that? We were just joking. When nobody is saying what they should. Bastard. Even though he's walking around wearing trash. I didn't know he was that kind of guy. Level 3. Violence against the scapegoat is allowed. Hey, someone buy indoor shoes and throw them away. Let's see if he'll wear those, too. I don't know how you all will remember your school days. He leaves his book bag behind at lunch. Put this pencil case in there while he's gone. You're a really bad guy. Whatever. Were you happy? Did you enjoy yourself? Huh? Isn't that the pencil case I threw out yesterday? What? Kim Yul, were you recycling again? PFT. The classroom, which was small enough to be painted with the excuse of the ignorance of childhood. Are the scenes that occurred there covered with a beautiful sepia filter?
Ugh.
The milk spoiled. Hide it under his desk. Quick. Class is gonna start. It isn't for me. Where is the strange smell coming from? You smell it too?
Yeah.
It kept stinking all through math class. Wait a moment. I'll look for it. Sniff, sniff. I think it's coming from the back row. I am a little more subtle than you guys. I am cunning. Yul, why do you bother washing the rags? A rag's a rag no matter how much you wash it. How sad. Maybe he sympathizes with the rag. Maybe there was nobody like me in your school. Or maybe you simply don't remember. Currently, your immersion rate is 100%. But I am definitely here. In this city. In this school. I am sitting in this classroom, holding a mechanical pencil. Class press, what are you looking at? The class president looks at me with strange eyes. Gongja. Huh? The class president trembled. It was very slight. He seemed to be disgusted with something, or maybe he was lamenting something. But his weird attitude soon lifted. The class president cleared his throat and said, "No. It's nothing. I just couldn't remember your name all of a sudden." What was it, again? What? Class press, do you have dementia this young? I'm Huang Yunxiu. Ah. That's right, the class president murmured, saying, that's the name. That kid usually didn't interact with our group. I heard your girlfriend is running for student council.
Yeah.
Why? I think I will, too. Please tell her I look forward to working with her. What? You want to be the student council president? But all you ever do is study, class president. I need recommendations to enter Seoul National University. They say it's easy if you become the student council president. Is that so? Seems like it. It's kind of funny how he wants to join the student council to go to Seoul National University. Well, it's the class president. He's an honest guy. I decide to let it pass. Cool. Good luck, class president. I'm voting for my girlfriend, but anyway, fight on. The class president nods his head with a blank face. All right. Thanks. I am strong. I am a manipulative and shrewd person. Therefore, even if you didn't say it, I'm going to try my best. Let us talk about my defeat. Chapter 142. Rooftop. 1. One day. You've been making fewer videos recently, said my girlfriend. Huh? Videos of Kim Yul. You used to turn one in at least once a week, no matter how late it was. Are you doing it late because you're working on a masterpiece? There's quite a bunch of kids waiting for the next episode for our meeting. The reaction for the last scene with cutting his nails was good. My girlfriend's expression was flat. I listened to her words and frowned for a moment. Videos. Right. I used to film every time we bullied Kim Yul with a camcorder. But why did I do that? I'll wait. Kim Yul. Director. Why did I? Currently, your immersion rate is 100%. That's right. I remembered. It was this. I filmed it so the kids have something to see. The children of the local community leaders gathered at Shinseo Middle and High School. The school was prestigious. The children of these highbrow and prestigious families had to behave properly, which meant there was a lot of stress on them. Some of the kids relieved stress by taking part in the bullying, but that was dangerous. Most kids didn't want to take that risk. It was for the latter that I provided the Kim Yul videos. It was pretty serious. Producer Nim, I want a concept where you cut his nails with scissors. J. Please make him grow his hair and tie it with a yellow rubber band. -7. The last video only focused on hitting him a bunch. It wasn't that good. -11. This school had a student council suggestion box. It was a box that students used when they wanted to send a note or letter directly to the student council, but I got my girlfriend to use it for a slightly different purpose. A Kim Yul request box, so to speak. Even the teachers didn't touch the student council suggestion box. No one gave it a second look. It didn't matter if someone got caught putting a note in the box. Since my girlfriend had been on the student council since her first year, she could check the request box regularly. It wasn't some revolutionary idea, but I think I might be a little smart. It was a huge hit. The precious sons and daughters of important houses were fascinated by the ability to participate in the bullying at no risk. The request box even guaranteed anonymity. They signed their requests with the initials of playing cards, such as A, K, Q, and J. Please slap his cheek and nothing else for 20 minutes. Q. Q was my girlfriend's initial. His scruffy clothes are nice, but I want to see him wearing other clothes too. -7. 7 was the president of the broadcasting club. Producer Nim. I greatly enjoyed the last video. It was a brilliant idea to make Kim Yul speak politely. From my point of view, Kim Yul is popular because of his strong pride. So, unlike other patrons who enjoy physical humiliation, I am certain that a mental approach would be ideal. Producer Nim, the body should always be a symbol for the mental. -2. This nutjob who wrote a long review each time was a kid who played in the middle school band. He was insane. Since he was in the 2nd grade of middle school, he used the number 2. Of course, even as a crazy middle school kid, his family owned a powerful regional corporation. This meant he was a valuable patron. Only such guests populated the so-called trump card group. Secret fulfillment of their sadism. Vicarious satisfaction. I maintained my current status by providing entertainment to my clients. Since I started filming my works, more and more friends began taking care of me before I realized it. Yup, that was how I met my girlfriend. There was no way I'd be able to date a rich girl otherwise, right? It wasn't as if my mom or dad won any awards since I was in middle school. I couldn't pretend to be a singer like my big bro, with his pretty face. For me to climb the pyramid, I had to provide a tribute to those of high rank. Sorry. I apologized for my tribute being late. I also questioned why I hadn't been shooting Kim Yul videos these days. There hadn't been any reason to stop. But immediately, I thought of a plausible reason. I was good at being quick-witted. You're a candidate to be the student council president. I'm trying to hold back for the election. What? You were thinking of me? I want to be careful. People might talk. So our producer does have a cute side. Her eyes slanted upwards, and she stroked my head. I like smart puppies. She was clearly treating me like a dog, but I didn't care. Rather, I played into it. Woof. Woof. Bark bark. Pfft. Finally, my girlfriend laughed. I was the only person in this school who could make my girlfriend smile. I bent my legs like a dog and jumped around. Did you know that you're a really fun guy, Huang Yunxiu? A fun guy. That one word proved my worth. A fun guy to be with. A guy who always made you laugh. A popular guy among the popular kids who could control the mood. After all, dating based on someone's face like my older brother had its limits. Real relationships depend on how well you can flap your lips. I was waiting, Gongja. I furrowed my brows. What was that? Currently, your immersion rate is 100%. My mind went blank again for a moment. Was I imagining it? I seem to lose track of my thoughts more often recently. Anyway, I said, swallowing my spit. I'm going to take a break from filming for a while. I can't just push on and cause trouble. If any of our friends complain, please tell them that I'm worried Kim Yul will stop coming to school if we keep bullying him, so I'm adjusting the pace. It was then. The broadcasting club announces. A voice came from the school's speakers. It was a familiar voice, the voice of the number 7 member of the trump card group, the broadcasting club president. But did his voice have less energy than usual? Somehow, it made me uneasy. Huang Yunxiu, from Grade 2, Class 5. Grade 2, Class 5 Huang Yunxiu, please come to the broadcasting room immediately. Once again, Huang Yunxiu from Grade 2, Class 5, please come to the broadcasting room immediately. That is all. Then, the speaker turned off. My girlfriend looked at me. Did something happen? I made a face showing I didn't know either. I don't think I did anything to be called to the broadcasting room. Maybe the teacher's room. Since it's the broadcasting club's president, he might just be calling you for personal reasons. Like asking why there haven't been new videos. My girlfriend muttered that the guy was a little crazy. Go. I'll go home by myself. Okay. Thanks. I thought over it a little, then pressed my lips to my girlfriend's cheek. I flirted with her quite well today. I also played up the lie that I cared for my girlfriend. She would probably allow a kiss on the cheek. More than anything, I had to prove to my girlfriend and the people around her that we were a couple. My girlfriend huffed like she could see the calculations in my head. Cute. Hooray. The princess laughed again. I'm going. I'll text you what it's about later. That was why. I was much smarter than the other students. As I walked down the hallway, I calculated my score for today. Did I make any mistakes with people? Did I say anything weirdly? Did I make everyone laugh a good amount, and did I laugh a proper amount as well? The results are. Today has been a perfect day. Full points. As expected of me. I was talented. My talents weren't just bullying someone but also turning that bullying into a game. The upper crust kids who'd learned this fun would continue to look for me even after college. They might even invite me to their league. Though, it doesn't matter if I don't get invited. They would remember pulling some pranks with me in school. My girlfriend would probably dump me once we entered college, but she would remember me as the ex who amused her. Huang Yunxiu would remain as a memory of their youth that would always make them smile. That alone was a huge boon. Unlike the wishy-washy students, I had a roadmap for my life. First, I'll become a film director. I didn't have to be very successful. The point was to make a few independent films, build my career somewhat, and network. Then, it'd become what I was known for. No one hated a troubled young director. After that, I would connect rookie actors and actresses to the upper class, too. I'd become a sort of party designer, satisfying the rich young masters and ladies like I was doing now. Since my older brother worked in entertainment, I could stretch there too. Good. A golden life. I was different from the nerds who just studied without purpose and thought about their careers only after getting into college. I was on a different level. I'm coming in. Scrape. I opened the door to the broadcasting room. But as soon as I entered, I paused. Stop. Only the broadcasting club president was in the room. That wasn't weird. The fact that the room had soundproof walls and thick curtains? That wasn't weird either. Huang Yunxiu. But the broadcasting club president was holding a camcorder and filming me, and that was unusual. Close the door. Hurry. Close the door. If you don't, there will be big trouble. The broadcasting club president was trembling like a cornered rat. I didn't know why he was like that, but nothing good can come from agitating someone in that state. I quietly closed the door. Draw the curtains. I drew the curtains. And now, look at me. I looked. Grade 2, Class 5, Huang Yunxiu. Why you threatened me? You forced me to bully Kim Yul from Grade 2, Class 5. Right? Say that it's right. Is this some kind of hidden camera show? Shut up and say yes. The broadcasting club president was seriously trembling. An ominous premonition came over me. Normally, I would have joked about how I could shut up while saying yes, but I couldn't because I was surprised. I don't get it. Come on, let's talk this over. Why you approached me first? I said I didn't want to. You coaxed me, saying that there's something interesting and that I should see it at least once. Right? That's what happened. So it's all your fault. This wasn't normal. What are you talking about? You came to me after hearing rumors about the videos at the meetings. You said to let you in the group since you could connect me to the middle school kids, so why are you now? No. That isn't it. His face turned pale. It's your wrongdoing. It's your fault, Huang Yunxiu. You said we'd never be caught. You promised anonymity. That you'd take responsibility. But why is there a video with me in it? What? Seriously, what are you talking about? I only appeared once. Appearance. Some guests at the meetings occasionally wanted to make a guest appearance in the videos. They wanted to enjoy the act in real time instead of on tape. If I remembered correctly, the broadcasting club president only did so once. Hold on. Are you doing this because you're scared the video will be leaked? Don't worry about it. I throw away the video after everyone sees it. Don't lie. The broadcasting club president's face crumpled angrily. Asshole. You crazy bastard. I shouldn't have believed a bastard like you. Say it now. Say that you tricked me into it. Otherwise, I'll tell everyone what you've done. Say it. I have to record it and send it. He was nuts. I felt that I shouldn't stay here any longer. Sorry, but I won't admit to something I didn't even do. It goes against my conscience. I definitely only showed you because you asked me. I threw away the video itself, but I have all the notes you put in the suggestion box. I don't know why you're doing this, but I'll talk to you later when you cool down. I turned my back to him. The broadcasting club president groaned. Stand right there. Don't go. Don't go, Huang Yunxiu. If you go out, you're done for. Really? I'll end your life by telling everyone. Don't you understand? Hey, Huang Yunxiu. Bastard. You're done for. Your life is over. Just watch, I'll tell my parents, and your life. Scrape. The door closed, cutting off the broadcasting club president's voice. Absorbed by the soundproof wall and covered by the curtains, his shouts were incoherent vibrations. Nobody was around in the second-floor corridor. Fuck. What the hell? I cursed. He wouldn't be shaking like that for no reason. Maybe the video really was leaked. There was no guarantee that none of my customers made a copy to keep. Someone may have used it to blackmail the broadcasting club president. Damn it. I heard that managing customers was more difficult than getting them. Those words were right. I took out my cell phone and dialed the customers one by one. Ring. The connecting sound was long. After a while, it ended because the other person didn't pick up. What? I stopped myself from yelling and called up the next customer. I wanted to ask if they knew anything about the broadcasting club president making a fuss. Ring. That customer didn't answer the phone either. Well, school just ended. They might not have picked up because they were on their way home. I controlled myself and called the next customer. Ring. Still. The next customer didn't answer my call either. Next customer, 2. A total of 12 people other than my girlfriend. None of the customers in the trump card group answered my calls. What is this? I was overcome by an ominous feeling. It was like a hand was gripping my neck. Just what is happening? I didn't think as I called up a classmate who wasn't one of the customers. If I was the producer, this friend was my secretary. He was in charge of delivering and collecting the videos to and from the customers for me. Ring. He didn't answer my phone either. I realized then. Someone was trying to hunt me. Chapter 143. Rooftop. 2. Who is it? I couldn't understand. Who is stirring things up on Kim Yul's behalf? Kim Yul had no close family. He pretty much had none at all. Kim Yul's bullying started before he made friends, so there was no one who would help him. I didn't choose Kim Yul as a scapegoat for nothing. I need to talk to Kim Yul. He has to know something. Whatever it is. I rushed to the back of the school. Kim Yul would be taking care of the animals in the school farm now. I knew every hour of Kim Yul's schedule. As expected, I saw Kim Yul's back as he fed the chickens. That's right. This is where you should be. He was a guy who barely fed his self-esteem by feeding animals that were weaker than him. That was how I understood Kim Yul's obsession with the farm. In the end, humans were also beasts, and weaker beasts serve the strong. Your immersion rate is currently 100%. The school was the same as the farm. It was a slightly larger cage, and in this place, I was a stronger beast than Kim Yul. Hey! Kim Yul. I growled. What did you do? Kim Yul did not turn around. He didn't even respond. He continued to pass out the animal feed like he didn't hear my voice.
Ha!
Is he ignoring me now? Unbelievable. I walked over and grabbed Kim Yul's shoulder roughly. Hey, asshole. When someone says your name, you have to. When Kim Yul looked back at me, something fell out. They were earphones. He had been wearing earphones. Classical music bellowed from the earphones that fell to his shoulders. Our eyes met. I was stunned. Tears welled up in Kim Yul's black eyes. What? For a moment, I was speechless. I don't know why I was speechless either. Was it because this was the first time I was seeing Kim Yul cry? Maybe. Kim Yul had never shed any tears, no matter how much he was bullied. That aspect of him excited the customer's sadism further. But it wasn't just for that reason. Who is it? It felt unfamiliar. Who is this bastard? Kim Yul's eyes seemed too unfamiliar. His gaze was distant, looking past me, not at me. Kim Yul silently cried as I held his shoulder. Even his tears seemed to fall somewhere other than the ground. You. It's beautiful. Kim Yul opened his mouth. What? The song. The music I'm listening to. A deaf man composed this music. Da-da-da-dum, one. Sound spilled from the earphones. It was a rhythm I'd heard a lot before. But I was just wondering how this panhandler got the MP3. I am thinking of the humiliation and curses this deaf man must have suffered in his life. Wouldn't people have insulted him by calling him a cripple? Wouldn't they have jeered and laughed at him? What are you yammering about, you? It's sad. Scars are eternal. A person from hundreds of years ago had suffered, bearing insults in his life. It must have been the same 1,000 years ago. It will be the same in 1,000 years. Had this bastard gone crazy? Nothing in the world is beautiful in itself. Only those who are wounded see beauty. Only those whose lives have been ruined feel grateful to see another's life that has not yet been ruined. Tears are shed by those who endure even to the point of ruin. Kim Yul's gaze was affixed on the air. If there is someone who believes the whole world is beautiful, he must certainly have had his whole world ruined. Only those who live in hell would praise the world. I think that this deaf man's cursed life resulted in his song. Where did you pick up such retarded thoughts? Hey, you. What did you do? I grabbed Kim Yul by his collar. Squeeze. Kim Yul dropped the feed bag as I shook him. Yellow feed spilled from the bag that fell to the ground. What did you do to my customers, you recycling son of a bitch? Finally, Kim Yul looked at me. I did nothing, Death King. Death. What? I'm only looking at what I had discarded. Kim Yul arrogantly grabbed my wrist. Dumbfounded, I tried to shake off his grip. I couldn't even budge. Huh? Then, Kim Yul simply pulled my hand off his collar. This all happened in an instant. Confused, I reached out my hand again, but whack. Kim Yul slapped away my wrist. The path twisted. My hand veered off course and whipped through the air without my control. In the blink of an eye, my hand collided with nothing but air. Huh? I stared blankly at Kim Yul. It's a shame. Kim Yul nonchalantly picked up the feed bag. Kim Yul is angry. What Kim Yul wants is not physical violence but a revenge far greater, to be exact. And I think I want to fulfill Kim Yul's desire. Why you? What have you done? What the fuck are you doing? Kim Yul wants you to go through everything he has gone through. Revenge means throwing your opponent into the depths of hell that you have fallen into. That is what Kim Yul thinks. Kim Yul. No. I agree with that opinion. A stranger was looking at me. Wait, Kim Yul's killer. The day is ending, and the path is long. It's so long. I will see you again after that. Kim Yul leisurely walked away, still holding the feed bag. Hey! Hey! Stand right there. Don't. That was when my pants pocket buzzed. My cell phone received a text. One of my customers must have seen the missed call and responded. Glancing toward Kim Yul, I quickly checked my phone. Plus. Never contact me again. If you do, I'll kill you. Plus. I was floored. Confused, I called the customer who sent the text. But even after multiple calls, there was no answer. My body trembled. What the hell? The situation did not change the following day. What is going on? Rather, it became worse. Yoon-seo. As I entered the classroom, one of my friends approached me hesitantly. He was someone who had appeared in the Kim Yul game dozens of times. He was quite popular with customers because he was good at hitting people. This friend secretly enjoyed this, absorbed in his popularity. What? There's a note I was asked to deliver to you. My friend seemed really terrified. That bad? Here. Sorry. He put the note on my desk and stepped back like he was fleeing. I furrowed my brows and unfolded the note. Some handwritten words were on the page. Hwang Yoon-seo lives in a dump. The indoor shoes and the school uniforms are all recyclable. The only trash that can't be recycled is Hwang Yoon-seo. The only reason I didn't react right away was because it was too ridiculous.
Ha!
I faked a laugh and looked at my friend. What is this? A joke? Flinch. He cowered behind the other students. I was already stressed all night because my customers were acting like
Shh.
*T, but with this so-called friend acting like this too, I was seething with rage. Did recycling put you up to this? Hey. Hey. Look at me. Fucking look at me. There are things that you can't do even as a friend.
Yeah.
Did Kim Yul make you give me this note? The friend couldn't say anything. He was still wearing the terrified expression on his face. When I was about to confront him because of the absurdity, another classmate of ours approached my desk. Hwang Yoon-seo. What? Sorry. Take this. The classmate threw down another note at my desk. Instinctively, I grabbed the note and read it. I feel so bad for the underclassmen at our school. They have to call Hwang Yoon-seo their sunbae. Have you ever thought about how they feel? Doesn't it hurt your conscience? My head went blank. Taking advantage of that opportunity, 3 more classmates left notes on my desk. Like the previous 2, they had also been actively involved in the Kim Yul game. Hwang Yoon-seo is really filthy. How can you be even dirtier than the math teacher? What was this? Wow. There are students who don't wash their uniforms. Why were they doing this to me? You smell really bad. Seriously, you reek. What happened yesterday? Something happened, but I was the only one oblivious. Something made all my customers turn their backs on me. Not only that, but my friends were blackmailed into putting on this weird show. Calm down. My heart was pounding like crazy. Calm down. Let's think about this calmly. Did Kim Yul do this? No. There's no way. He was a little weird yesterday, but it isn't him. Then, who? Who did this? It was then Hwang Yoon-seo. The homeroom teacher stuck his head into the classroom from the door. All of the students turned to look at him. He looked around the classroom, saw me, then beckoned. Come with me. Me? What? is there another Huang Yunxiu in our class? You're not in trouble, so hurry and follow. Ah. Class president. Take the kids' phones and bring them to me. Hesitantly, I followed the homeroom teacher out. My surroundings were eerily quiet as I left. The air felt loaded. It was as if all of my classmates knew why I was called, like they had no doubts about why the homeroom teacher would single me out. The only ones unaffected were the nerds who had been studying their notes since the morning. Huang Yunxiu. The teacher's office. Yes. Did you do something bad? You haven't, right? My homeroom teacher asked calmly. He was speaking like it didn't matter. In the office, students in their uniforms walked around to pick up prints. Teachers were organizing the handouts before their first class. What? I'm asking if you did something bad. Does nothing come to mind? No. My heart raced. I don't think so. My homeroom teacher scratched his head. Hey, Huang Yunxiu. Don't blab about this, okay? Okay. Listen to this. My homeroom teacher handed me an earbud. I took it. The earphones were connected to the homeroom teacher's computer. Click. When he clicked his mouth, I heard recorded voices through the earphones. Hey, don't start hitting yet. Just make him kneel. Huh? A lot of people contributed this time. We'll use a lottery to decide the concept from the 5 requests we received for today. The back of my neck was cold. Ah, the person chosen today is the Queen. Congratulations, Queen. What are you all doing? Clap for her, clap. Whoa. My voice. And the voices of my friends who had just tossed me the notes. Let's look at Queen's request. Hey, she also gave us a budget. 100,000 won. She said this is for our meals and told us not to be hungry. And for our popular star, we'll mix jajangmyeon and jampong and 2. Click. The homeroom teacher stopped the recording. Did you hear the voices just now? Yes. I received this recording in my mail yesterday. The sound quality isn't good, but it kind of sounds like your and some other kids' voices. So I just called you in to ask. Huang Yunxiu, is this you? It isn't. I tried to look bewildered. Also, a queen? What kind of play is this? Who knows? I listened to it from start to finish, and it's really weird. Anyway, it gives off a bad vibe. The mail said that it was something for Huang Yunxiu from grade 2, class 5 to hear, so I wondered if it was a joke between you kids. Shh! *T. So this was it. This was how the other kids were threatened. Fortunately, our homeroom teacher was a moron. He thought that this could be a prank even after listening to the recording. Well, it was only because he was such an idiot that he didn't know what was happening in class. That was lucky for me. Nothing can be done with just this recording. It's just a blank shot. Maybe one of my friends or a customer captured the voice recording and was messing around with it. If that person had anything more conclusive than the recording, there was no reason for them not to send it to the homeroom teacher. The problem is that everyone is scared of the dud shot. Damn. The homeroom teacher looked up at me. You really didn't plan this prank with your buddies? No. But can I really not talk to anyone about this? No. Never say a word. Anyway, it's fine since you say it's nothing. Go back to class. Yes. I quietly left the teacher. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Scrape. When I opened the door to the teacher's office, I ran into someone on the other side. It was the class president. The class president was holding a blue plastic collection box, having collected the cell phones from our class. Oh. Sorry. The class president spoke with the same facial expression as usual, with his nerdy face, and stepped a little out of my way. I'd normally have said thank you, but I had no mind to do it now. I just briefly met his eyes and went out into the hallway. I don't know which bastard copied it, but I'll make them pay today. Son of a bitch, treating me lightly. This goes beyond a joke. How could you do something like this to a classmate? Scrape. The sound of the door closing behind me quietly echoed in the hall. Chapter 144, Rooftop. 3. First, let's placate my friends. A sneaky little bitch was trying to tear down everything I'd built. You think I'll let you? I had to skillfully pull together these wimps who got spooked by some threatening emails. But it was fine. I could do it. As soon as I returned to the classroom, I spoke to the kids in my group. Hey. I know why you guys are doing this, but stop it. Why do something so hurtful between friends?
Yeah.
If you've got something to say, say it. If there's something you have to hear, listen. Isn't that how friends should be?
Yeah.
But their reaction was underwhelming. They didn't answer and only continued to glance at my desk. I went to the desk. Dozens of crumpled notes were stuffed into the drawer. Each and every one of those notes slandered and reviled me. You were so happy you could die just 'cause I said hi in the hallways yesterday. Anybody could tell that the contents were lies. I just lost at rock paper scissors, 'kay? Don't get the wrong idea. Sentence after sentence contained nothing but malice and mockery. While I was at the office, in that brief moment, the notes piled up like a mountain. Hey, bastards. Dot. Someone laughed. I whipped around toward where the laughter came from, but I couldn't tell who did it. There were too many students in the classroom. Who is it? Who did this to my desk, huh? It wasn't us, one of my friends said cautiously. A little while ago, someone from another class came and put all the notes there at once. Another class?
Yeah.
He wanted to tell you something, to not contact him again. It was one of my clients. One of my customers had left the notes. I was gonna go nuts. This unknown culprit was not only messing with my customers but also my classmates. Also, Yuncio. And? What? On your back. My back? What's about my back? Well, there's. You know. I turned my body around. If I turned my head, I could see my back, not very well, though. Laughter echoed throughout the classroom. Pfft.
Ha!
I bent my arms and patted my back. Crunch. I felt something. Paper. Somebody had taped paper onto my back. I hurriedly took off the paper to see what was written on it. Plus. Official trash of Shinseo High. Plus. The words were written in cute, round handwriting. When was it? And who put it on? Was it already on me when the homeroom teacher called? Or did someone secretly stick it on right after I entered the classroom? But there was no time to figure this out. Let's start class. First period began. The math teacher, the biggest pushover at our school. My classmates, who had been chattering all this time, sat down in unison like they had decided to become model students. Damn. Inwardly, I ground my teeth. If I raise a fuss now, I'll only make myself look ridiculous. Should I just ditch? No. I can't. That'd be bad. They'll only gossip more if I leave. Fuck. In the end, I had no choice but to sit quietly. The people around me, snickering under their breaths. Kim Yul, looking expressionlessly down at his notebook. The class president, who entered the classroom late, excused himself to the math teacher and sat at his desk. Everyone was living life normally. Fuck. My insides churned. It was natural that I'd be angry at the culprit. It was to be expected. But beyond that person, I felt anger toward my friends and classmates suddenly boil as well. Your hands are dirty, too. It was unfair. Are they seriously backing out now? Even though they mocked and beat up Kim Yul with me? It wasn't like I ever forced them to bully Kim Yul. They did that on their own. It was unfair. Who here hasn't made fun of Kim Yul? There were so many of them who begged me to show them the videos. Why are they pretending otherwise now? It was too unfair. Because I tried. I worked hard to achieve what others didn't. What? Was it easy to bully someone deliberately? Did they think they could make an outcast into a total pariah? Maggot, no, goddamn leeches. I put in the effort. I created a platform using the student council suggestion box. I made connections to the rich kids. While my peers studied like everyone else and lived as they were told to, I was thinking about the future. I made plans. On the other hand, what did these conniving leeches do? They mooched off the platform I worked hard to create. It was the same. Because others laughed, they laughed too. Because others bullied, they bullied too. These guys, these bastards, followed only one logic. Because others are doing it. Disgusting bastards. Like this, they'd feign ignorance. Because others were doing it. I didn't think much about it. I didn't mean it like that. Making such excuses, they would forget how they, too, enjoyed bullying Kim Yul. Rather than pretending not to remember, they'll really forget. Because their heads were no good. They were idiots. They wouldn't even remember what they said or did. What else could that be but a matter of intelligence? They were just morons who blindly followed the crowd. And they still pretended to be innocent, to be human. It's unfair. This was unfair. Why would I, to these inferior bastards? Why only me? It was unfair. If someone who was just like the hero of a story, who had acted upright since the moment he was born, came after me, I'd understand. But that wasn't the case. I bet none of them apologized to Kim Yul, even now. Nobody would have. I was sure. That was why it was unfair. It was way too unfair that these guys were just being agitated by the culprit and targeting me without much thought. I didn't want to be stabbed by a knife like that. These second-rate assholes. I was superior to them. Buzz. My phone vibrated in my pants pocket. My girlfriend had texted. Plus. Huang Yunxiu, what have you done? From now on, stay away from me. We're done. Plus. Time marched on without pause. I had no time to respond. No method popped up in my mind. The culprit drove me into a corner, sparing nothing. I contacted my girlfriend, but she didn't answer. Even when I went to find her during break time, she only stared at me coldly. Just yesterday, she had smiled, saying how fun it was to be with me. Why? I'm a fun guy, remember? Afterwards, I couldn't even go to the bathroom properly during break time. I was afraid. What if someone else came and put a note in my desk drawer while I was gone? Fuck. Even at lunchtime, I just lay on my desk and pretended to sleep. I wasn't an idiot. There was no way my classmates would eat lunch with me in this atmosphere. It was better to pretend to sleep instead of going down to the cafeteria and eating alone. Still, wouldn't one person at least offer to eat with me? I thought, my head slammed against the desk. Then, I'll tell them straight away that I don't feel well today. If I refuse like that, then everyone will know. Huang Yunxiu didn't get hurt from this. He's fine. Or, maybe they'll say that I'm sulking and they need to comfort me.
Yeah.
I'll let everyone know like that. That was what would happen. I cared so much for these guys all this time. I treated them to meals and let them appear in videos. I even helped some of them make up when they were fighting. And there was nothing. Nobody invited me to the cafeteria. The classroom, devoid of students, was quiet during lunchtime. The dismal silence at 12:45 p.m. No one was walking around in the halls. The wind blew through the window, and white curtains fluttered. Bastards, I muttered as I stood up. You can say something, can't you? At least say something. Suddenly, I felt a deep sense of humiliation. Walking around unaware, there was a note on my back. Being mocked by these leech-like kids. Being dumped over text. Everything was so humiliating. Hateful jerks. Inhumane bastards. I went through my classmates' desk drawers, one by one. I snooped. Maybe there would be evidence pointing to the culprit. Maybe there would be specific instructions hidden, like when to send me the notes, what to write in it, etc. God, I hope there is. Please. It was then. Huang Yunxiu, what are you doing now? I jerked back in surprise. My posture was sloppy because I was looking through the desks. When I turned around, I saw 4 of my classmates standing at the back door of the classroom. I stuttered. That's, just a moment. A moment? A moment for what? I just had to check for a moment. You're rummaging through someone else's desk to check for something? Are you crazy? No. Hey, Huang Yunxiu was searching our desks. What? That wasn't it. Why was he looking through other people's desks? Have you done this before? Listen to me. Wow. Gross. It wasn't like that. Please, listen to me. Someone's controlling you right now. You didn't know, right? You're being used without realizing. You need to know that. You guys have also done bad things, so we're on the same side. The same team. One team. We're one team. If you guys attack me, something really bad will happen. Seriously. Who but me will take care of you? I made the Kim Yul game just for you guys. I made you all happy. I provided you guys with entertainment. Who did? Me. So return the favor. Fuckers. Don't be dumb and get worked up. Just judge who's on your side. This was a conspiracy. It was slander. It was unfair. You crummy bastards. You may be stupid, but can't you tell who's an ally and who's the enemy? Don't you have any loyalty? We've played well together this far. You guys also had fun tormenting Kim Yul. You used to laugh at Kim Yul and his old man, who lived in the dump and collected trash. You're all trash. Why are you trying to mutiny now? It's unfair. The news that I had been rummaging through desks at lunchtime quickly spread to the others.
Yeah.
I did it. I looked through your desks. Was that such a big deal? However, my classmates seemed to think Huang Yunxiu, looking through the desks, was much more serious than, "We bullied Kim Yul. It's so unfair. Those guys had laughed with me, saying, 'Producer, producer,' every day, but they betrayed me just because the culprit blackmailed them a little. How long had I been breaking my back for the happiness of the class? It's so unfair, I could die." Nothing changed after school. At least this morning, my friends said they were sorry. They at least pretended to be sorry. But after what happened at lunchtime, the way they looked at me changed. They looked at me coldly, like I was someone they needed to kill. Crazy bastards. What did I do wrong? It was unfair. I felt wronged. Huang Yunxiu. The classroom was empty after the students left. "Sorry, but can I look for a moment?" asked the class president. The class president was the only one who remained expressionless all day today. "What is it?" I was trying not to concern myself, but the homeroom teacher and our classmates kept talking to me about it. As class president, I need to pretend I care a bit.
Ha!
I couldn't even snark back at him for meddling. The class president was the first person to talk to me since lunchtime. Putting it nicely, the class president was a model student. Putting it less nicely, he was a voluntary outsider. Maybe that was why he could ignore the surrounding atmosphere. What happened? Shortly, I saw a way out of this hellish situation. That's right. The class president. The class president had good grades. He was subtly adored by the teachers. Even my classmates couldn't bother the class president easily. Maybe he was born like that, but the class president had a slightly arrogant air, so it wasn't easy to talk to him. I could turn the situation around bit by winning over the class president.
Yeah.
Actually. Then, I talked about the unfair things that had happened to me. Maybe I did look down on Kim Yul a little, very little. But maybe someone was jealous I was dating a rich girl, so they were spreading ridiculous rumors about me. It was unfair. It was unfair, but my classmates didn't even listen to me. Please help. The class president quietly listened to my grumbling, which lasted about half an hour. He didn't interrupt me. He didn't even ask questions. He just listened with the same dull attitude, and I was grateful for that. I see. That's what happened. The class president nodded. Yunxiu, I understand you feel wronged. It's a horrible situation. Sometimes, kids are cold, saying it isn't their responsibility. You're so right. But I have no way to help. Maybe. The class president sank into thought. He seemed to think for a long time. Though I wasn't very close to him, I could feel that he was deeply concerned. Both of us kept our mouths shut. A long time later, the class president lifted his head. Ah. He slapped the desk. Yunxiu. How about this? From what I can tell, this problem can only be resolved if you receive Kim Yul's forgiveness. From Kim Yul. Yes. Honestly, all the other kids are outsiders. If Kim Yul, the wronged party, forgives you, then nobody can say anything. It was a solution that never occurred to me. But now that I heard it, it seemed right. No matter what the other kids tried to do, if Kim Yul said, "I forgive Huang Yunxiu now," they would have nothing to say. But there was a problem. Will Kim Yul accept my apology? I don't think he will. Don't worry. It'll be troublesome, but let's try talking to him. The class president smiled softly. I'll help you, Huang Yunxiu. It was a very kind smile. Chapter 145. Friend. 1. You're going to help me?
Yeah.
Well, don't say it like I'm being nice. The class president smiled wryly. Did this kid always have such diverse expressions? It felt a little unnerving. Thinking about it, we had been in the same class since first year, but we never talked much. I'm running for student council this time, remember? So that I could get college recommendations. But anyway, the student council president should act like it. I should at least be able to handle a problem in my class. I don't know how to resolve this, but I'll try asking Kim Yul. Do you know his number?
Yeah.
Just a moment. While I was looking for his number, I realized something. The class president didn't know Kim Yul's number, but all of my classmates who watched the video would know that fact. Therefore, class press isn't the culprit. Though, there was still a chance that this was all an act. That can't be. He's such a square, and he had no way of getting hold of the recording. The class president was safe. I was sure of it. While I was nodding my head, the class president exclaimed in surprise and said, "Never mind. It's kind of rude to talk about this sort of thing over the phone. I'll just secretly talk to Kim Yul after school tomorrow. That should be fine, right?" Oh, right. Calling might be bad. Well, thanks for trying to help. If you're grateful, vote for me instead of your girlfriend, please. Sure. My girlfriend broke up with me today, anyway. The class president didn't seem to know about it, which was another reason he wasn't on the suspect list. That's right. I had hope. It's not over yet. Nothing has ended. As long as at least one person supports me, I can make a new plan using him. This atmosphere will only last a short time. After a while, my friends will come back to me and everything will be back to normal. From that day, the class president really started to act. I didn't know what exactly he was doing, but he seemed to be taking advantage of a model student image he had built up. All right. I've heard what Kim Yul had to say, the class president said the next day. It was during lunchtime. I didn't go to the cafeteria today either. My classmates continued to scorn me, and I didn't want to get caught up in the atmosphere. So the two of us were speaking secretly in the empty classroom. Really? What did he say? He wants you to apologize in front of your friends. He'll never accept your apology if it's just you two. If you apologize sincerely about what you did and how bad it was in front of your friends, he'll forgive you. That crazy guy. Apology? Forgiveness? Who is he kidding? He simply wanted to humiliate me. There was no difference between my classmates and Kim Yul. They were acting up for a little taste of power. He said 3 times that he wouldn't forgive you if he couldn't feel sincerity from the apology. His face was expressionless, but I think he's really angry at you. I'm gonna go nuts. Couldn't I just give him $1,000,000 and call it done? He would accept it since he was poor. What is sincerity? What do I have to do for him to feel it? Who knows? I don't really get it either. Anyway, the important part is apologizing in front of the other kids. Why don't you try writing out the apology beforehand? The class president sounded a bit irritated. He may finally have realized the situation was more complicated than he expected. Damn it. My school life and future were at stake here. My life depended on this. If he was pretending to be good, he should take responsibility till the end.
Yeah.
I'll write an apology.
Ha.
I sighed, making the most pitiful expression I could. Huang Yunxiu, it's time for the performance of your lifetime. Really, why did I stupidly torment Kim Yul? I thoughtlessly joined in since all the kids were doing it. Damn it. I shouldn't have done that. Come on, hurry up and pity me. Sympathize with me. I was a human being. I could feel regret and repent my mistakes. But it wasn't that big of a sin. So hurry up and feel sorry for me. It's natural Kim Yul is angry at me. I could have stopped the others, but... Now, I'm sorry. If I could, I'd apologize in front of the whole school. Really? The class president stared at me with his eyes, deep as a well. His face was hard to read, but there was no mistaking that he was listening to me. I have an idea. The class president suddenly got to his feet. Huh? It just occurred to me how you can get Kim Yul's forgiveness. Wait a moment. I need to go to the teacher's office. The class president sprinted out of the classroom. I was dumbfounded. What was that guy doing? I absent-mindedly chewed on the GSTLY bread in the barren classroom. I had gnawed off about half of the bread when the class president returned. All right. I received permission from the teacher. For what? The student council election speech. I asked if a non-candidate can go up to the podium. Nothing in the rules says you can't. The class president smiled confidently. Maybe he dropped by the bathroom on the way back, but there was moisture around his mouth. You said it. If you could, you would apologize in front of the whole school. I was already pondering what to write in my speech to beat your girlfriend, so this is great. Listen carefully. The class president sat down and took out a notebook. Swish, swish. An old-timey cursive danced on the page. Huang Yunxiu, you'll apologize to Kim Yul. Then, I'll take over the microphone and continue the speech, saying, the type of school I want to create as student council president is one where you admit your mistakes and grant forgiveness. Got it? I didn't get it. We'll decorate it as a story. The speech won't just be a boring pledge of what I'll accomplish. I don't know what your girlfriend's speech will say, but she's uber rich. I can imagine it clearly. She'll offer her own money to put perfume in the bathrooms, make sure we don't run out of tissues, stuff like that to coax the students. If I make simple campaign promises, my odds are 0. Yes, let's fight with a story. The class president wrote in his notebook. Plus. A student council that solves problems. A council that helps you speak. We will become all students' emergency mediators. Plus. The class president's eyes were gleaming. What do you think? It was really sappy. This is the era of storytelling. Bathroom fragrances, tissues, all that is overused. Students have heard those promises since elementary school. They'll eat this up. Let's use a story. Well, student council elections were supposed to be cheesy. Candidates would slap on whatever to their speeches, mediating or communication and whatnot. The class president's idea didn't seem bad. But holy. Shh. *T, this bastard. I looked at the class president with fresh eyes. He has no interest in anything but his election, huh? Even though he was the class president, I was wondering why he was going so far to help. This selfish bastard. He was thinking about how to use me to get elected from the start. The class president didn't care about what was happening in class. He had no interest in what happened to Kim Yul or why my life was falling apart. He only got involved because he could use this for the race. And even his desire to be student council president was so he could get into a good college. That's right. But as I looked at the class president, I now had no suspicions. I can work with this kind of asshole. The class president and I were one of a kind. He looked toward the future. He was concerned about his prospects. He intended to enter a good university and live a good life. How many people went so far to become student council president just to get a letter of recommendation to Seoul National University? He's just like me. The class president was much more trustworthy than someone who acted nice for no reason. He was someone who would definitely succeed once we entered society. But there's only a few days left before the election. Are you sure you don't mind changing your speech because of me? It's fine. Winning is all that matters. The class president smiled. Counting the time I used making posters and such, I've spent 20 hours on this election. I gave up 20 hours of studying for this election, so I can't lose. This bastard. Really, we think on the same lines. I trusted him even more now. I felt a sense of camaraderie with him. All right, class president, I'll help with what I can, for sure. In exchange, you have to help me too. Tell our classmates that I want to make up with them. In the meantime, I'm sorry, and I want to be friends again if we can. Sure. Sounds good. We've got to scratch each other's backs. We shook hands. I'll be in your care. The same to you. I helped with the class president's election. I couldn't help him out in the open, but I looked over and coordinated his speech with my apology. My classmates' ostracization didn't change, but the fact I had something to do at school stabilized me a lot. Oh. It's not half bad. The class president was satisfied when he read over my apology and speech. It was after school. Only the two of us remained in the sunset-tinged grade 2, class 5 room. Now, if you just act it out well here, we'll win. Act? I tilted my head. What acting? Huh? Hwang Yunseo, you aren't actually sorry to Kim Yul at all. Oh, don't worry. I'm not accusing you. It's not the mindset of apologizing that's important but the attitude, in my opinion. In the first place, I don't even know what it means to have a sorry mindset. The class president flipped through my written apology. You're risking humiliation by apologizing in front of the whole school. What apology can be more sincere than that? It doesn't matter how many times you say you're sorry or feel bad. You have to prove it with actions. In that regard, you're 1,000 times better than the other kids, Hwang Yunseo. I slyly asked Kim Yul yesterday whether anyone properly apologized to him. But nobody's done it, you know? You're the only one who even asked how you can be forgiven. Seriously, our classmates have no shame. Class press. You. He really got me. I was a bit touched. Of course, it's good from my position. If you went around saying, vote for my girlfriend. No matter what, vote for her, then I'd have lost dozens of points. While I feel bad that you're being ostracized, truthfully, it's advantageous for me. Wow. You're a piece of... *T. Yup. Thanks. Aren't humans... *TTY to begin with? I laughed. He was right. I hadn't laughed this much since my girlfriend broke up with me. This guy really knows how to talk. People were trash. They were beasts. If a human being looked tame, it was only because they had degenerated into livestock. Only those who quickly realize this survive. Currently, your immersion rate is 100%. Then, instead of being livestock, they could be a wolf. If they're lucky, they could even become a lion. They could succeed. Those who complained that relationships were difficult did so because they saw people as people. It was simple if you saw them as beasts. You have no friends? It's because there's nothing to gain from being beside you. If you can't do anything else, you should at least be able to relieve someone's stress while hanging out. You have many friends? It's because there's a lot to be gained from being with you. That was all. True friendship only came from quid pro quo. If I stick with this guy, I don't think I'll lose anything, at least. I smirked. Class president, you want to be friends? The class president snorted. First, I need to be elected student council president. The speech is fine now, but there's room for improvement. I'm working hard to talk you up to our classmates, you know? It'll all be for naught if I don't win. Fine, fine. Okay. I'll write you a great speech. It'll make you cry and tear up when you recite it. I, Huang Yunxiu, will give my all to make our class president into Xinxiu High's president. Yes, yes, I hear you. I'm counting on you, Yunxiu. We snickered. Chapter 146. Friend. 2.
Yeah.
There's no rule saying I have to roll over and die. Misfortunes can turn into blessings. I thought this was the first time I felt true friendship since I entered high school. They say that the person who reaches out to you in tough times is your true friend. Yup. Looking back, I had been too arrogant. People could make mistakes as they lived. As for me, I trusted the other kids too much. One of my friends stole the audio file of the recording, and I didn't consider how they could fuck me over. It's fine. I still have many days left in my life. I was only a second year in high school. I would live another 60 years after this. I would continue to make mistakes in the future, and each time, I would face a frustrating crisis. But there is always a chance to turn things around. So I didn't have to be so discouraged. I shouldn't give up on everything too soon. I should believe in myself. I should believe in my friend. Unlike trash-like livestock, I was strong. I was a strong person. Life is made of experiences. And I should count this instance as a good experience. I'm actually lucky that this happened before I entered society. Right? Let's think like that. It isn't as if my business plan failed either. I haven't been caught by the police. I'm just being bullied a little by the other kids. This will end once the election is over. It really was a good life experience. I'll also slip in an apology to my girlfriend. She won't like it if I say it up front, so I'll do it subtly so that only people close to us will understand. I could also say sorry to my customers for involving them in the problem. The ones I really need to apologize to are the customers. Not Kim Yul. With Kim Yul, things will end with an apology whether or not he accepts it, but the customers could always become my clients again. I'll apologize to them sincerely. On the day of the student council elections, I finally finished my magnum opus. Plus. Greetings, everyone. I'm Huang Yunxiu from grade 2, class 5. Bow head. The reason I've come up to the podium today even though I'm not running in the election is because I have something to confess to everyone. Students of Xinxiu High School. I've made a grave mistake. I, Huang Yunxiu, participated in the bullying of a classmate. Pause for 2 seconds. When I saw my classmate being bullied, I didn't do anything to stop it. Instead, I joined the other kids in bullying him. I hit him while saying that we were just goofing around. I belittled him while claiming I was just joking. Sigh. Xinxiu High students. Until now, I didn't realize it was wrong. I thought we were just goofing around and joking between friends. But goofing around shouldn't hurt people, and you shouldn't mock people with jokes. The fact that I didn't recognize it was wrong. That I hurt him and laughed at him unknowingly. These were my gravest mistakes. One of the candidates who is running for student council president helped me realize my mistakes. At first, I didn't listen to him. I said I did nothing wrong, that it wasn't wrong to joke around. But for 2 weeks, this candidate stayed in the classroom after school to talk with me. You have to apologize. You can apologize. If you apologize sincerely, your friend will forgive you. I'm grateful. Look toward class president. Thanks to this candidate's efforts and encouragement, I am able to confess my mistakes to my classmates and all students in this spot today. Of course, my apology today will not heal the wounds my friend endured. Scan the audience. And all this time, I've caused trouble for not just that friend but also for my other friends and many people at school. I spoke without thinking. I think there are many people who feel disappointed with me. Bow head to the audience. I did wrong. Say this while my head is still bowed. I'm sorry. Put aside the speech notes here. To show sincerity, stop reading from the paper. Memorize this line by line. This is important. From now on, I will never goof or joke around lightly again. I will always think and think again. I will not base my thoughts upon just myself but upon my friends and others. Reinforce the story. Evoke a setting. The friend that I bullied comes to school early every morning to go to the farm in the back. At the farm, he takes care of the chicks and rabbits that nobody else cares for. He's an earnest person. A truly kind person. I feel deeply guilty for harassing such a sincere and kind-hearted person. Promise to do something that shows my sincerity. After today, instead of this friend, no, with this friend. I will go to school every morning at 6:30 to look after the animals. I will not skip a single day from today until the day I graduate. I won't take a break just because it's a weekend or a holiday. Why? Give them a good reason. This isn't just an apology to my friend but also a reminder to reflect on my mistakes every day. Apologizing once here won't erase my sin. As it shouldn't. Students of Shinseo High School. If I miss a single day, please rebuke me. I haven't changed yet. But I want to change. I want to thank Candidate 2 for helping to change me. It should be better to refer to his number than his name, I think. Students of Shinseo High School. Candidate 2 made me come up here today. He convinced me. It took him 2 weeks to do it, but he spent that time persuading one student. Emphasize the two. This isn't mere verbal communication but true communication, true understanding. Communication takes effort. Communication takes time. Communication is changing the people around you. Never look down at the speech, and don't falter. Make eye contact with each and every person. Candidate 2 is a candidate who puts in the effort. A candidate who will lend you time. A candidate who changes those around him. Wrap it up. I don't know how you all will remember your school days. But for me, I want you to remember your school days as happily as possible. I wish for you to remember them fondly. But for all of us to be happy and enjoy ourselves, we can't make anyone else suffer. For an even slightly better school life. For our school days to be even a little more enjoyable. Please vote for Candidate 2. Step away from the microphone. With my raw voice. Loudly. Kim Yul. I'm sorry for all this time. I'm really sorry. I wish you the best in the future. Bow my head to apologize and end. Exit. Plus. It was perfect. Good. It's fine, the class president commented. Fine? Was this level just fine? His eyes must have been strained. Very strained. This wasn't fine. It was a masterpiece. Couldn't he see how many psychological techniques I put into this? But I'm a generous person, so I let this slide. Phew. There's quite a lot of things that you have to memorize. Can you do it? Of course. I memorized it all last night. I can do it with my eyes closed. How reliable, Huang Yunxiu. I've made one good friend. The class president patted my shoulder. Bastard. Then let's do the rehearsal check first. The class president was planning to present his campaign promises and visions in a slideshow. That meant that the auditorium had to be darkened. Luckily, the auditorium could turn dark after you pressed a button and waited for a while for the curtains to fall. During the rehearsal, my girlfriend met my eyes. Humph. She pretended not to know me, but I bowed my head deliberately. I was making this pose to apologize to her. Then, her eyes rose up like she was surprised. Just wait. In my mind, I smiled. I'm making a comeback today. It was time for the election speeches. All students gathered in the auditorium. The room was teeming with them. My girlfriend seemed anxious. She paced around in the back of the auditorium. The class president, on the other hand, was stoic. He sat upright in his chair like he wasn't nervous at all. Even I was a little nervous. His nerves had to be crazy strong. Hey. Aren't you nervous? No, murmured the class president. Nervousness is for the unprepared. For today, I've prepared so much. How often did I dream of a stage and a day like this? I won't let nerves ruin it. His voice was chilly. For a moment, the back of my neck felt cold. That was how frosty the class president's voice was. We had hung out together after school for a few days, but this was the first time the class president used this sort of tone. What's up with him? Even though he's also acting different from usual. Weirdly, I felt like I'd been rebuked, so I just stood around awkwardly. That was when someone approached us. Why you there? It was a familiar face. It's about time to start. Hand over the USB. The broadcasting club president who had tried to threaten me not long ago looked jumpy. He cowered back when he met our eyes.
Ha!
Maybe he felt guilty for treating me so poorly.
Yeah.
Here you go. The class president handed a USB to the broadcasting club president. He received it with trembling hands. I just have to open the file in this, right? Yes. Just do it like we did in rehearsal. Like we did in rehearsal. Then, your part will be over. The class president looked straight up at the broadcasting club president. What? Is there anything else I need to take care of? No. There isn't. I was just asking. Sorry. Good luck. The broadcasting club president scrambled down the stage platform. Below the platform, there was a mess of broadcasting equipment such as laptops and projectors. Huh? The broadcasting club president's behavior was totally suspicious. He had always been a weirdo, but he hadn't stuttered like that. Now, a word from the principal. But there wasn't time to investigate his weird behavior. The principal and the chair of the election committee, the president of last year's student council, came out as the representative, spoke one after the other. The auditorium, which had been noisy because of all the students, soon became quiet. Then, candidate 1, please come forward. My girlfriend gave her speech first. As the class president predicted, she went all out on the promises. Her whole speech was about costly pledges. But my girlfriend was rich enough to keep her word, and most of the students knew it well. It's simple but powerful. She exited the stage to thunderous applause. It's fine. We'll win as long as I can act well. No, actually, the class president doesn't need to win. It's fine so long as I do well. The important thing is to apologize to Kim Yul in front of the student body. Then, the kids will say, "That's enough, Anne." I took a deep breath. "Candidate 2, please come forward." I looked back. The class president was watching. He nodded at me. "Good. Let's go. I'll act my heart out." I stepped up to the podium. With each step I took, I felt the weight of the gazes on my body increase. Thump. Thump. I desperately quenched my racing heart. Whir. Thick curtains moved to block out the sunlight. The auditorium was shrouded in darkness. As the broadcasting club president adjusted the projector, a bright light illuminated the stage. Dust particles glistened in the air where the rays of light passed. Hundreds of eyes. Hundreds of breathing sounds. Greetings, everyone. I slowly opened my mouth. I'm Huang Yunseo from grade 2, class 5. Then. The reason I've come up to the podium today even though I'm not running in the election is because I have something to confess to everyone. I followed up with a masterful speech. Oh. Once I set the mood, my nerves washed away. No. The tension was still there. But my excitement for acting overcame my nervousness, allowing my tongue to move freely. This will work. My voice became louder and quieter as I willed it. This will work. My expression wasn't stiff either. I could feel my facial muscles moving naturally. Fuck. It's working. Come to think of it, I produced countless videos. I acted as the director and producer of the Kim Yul game. That was also indubitably art and a stage. I had become the greatest actor at Shinseo Middle and High School. Shinseo High students. Until now, I didn't know it was wrong. Bullying was a sensational topic. Combined with my acting skills, even the third-year students who were uninterested in the speeches were looking at me. I did wrong. All of the students were looking at me. I'm sorry. I could grasp the sounds of their breathing in my hands like they became a stream. I haven't changed yet. But I want to change. Look. Look at me. Huang Yunseo is not dead yet. I won't die. The sound recording was strangely leaked, but that was a mistake. I could easily cover up a mistake like this. I was a magnificent person. If I look back, wouldn't my girlfriend also look at me in wonder? Please, please vote for candidate 2. I took 3 steps back from the microphone and shouted. Kim Yul. I was confident in my victory. I'm sorry for all this time. I'm really sorry. I bowed my head to where the students of grade 2, class 5 were sitting. I wish you the best in the future. There was silence. Then, a small sound that broke the silence in the auditorium. Clap. Applause came from the direction I bowed my head to. Clap, 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 clap. Kim Yul was standing up, clapping his hands. Yup. It was Kim Yul. The person to whom I was supposed to apologize and by whom I was supposed to be forgiven was giving me a standing ovation. Though Kim Yul's expression was blank and his applause was unenthusiastic, his standing ovation could mean only one thing. Forgiveness. Thanks to Kim Yul taking the lead, the other students also started to applaud. Clapping was contagious. The students clapped their hands like they had seen a good performance, like it was all right to stop what they had been doing. Even the teachers were clapping. Kook. Tears streamed down my face. Thank you. It wasn't that I was grateful for Kim Yol's forgiveness. Who cared if recycling forgave me or not? It was me. I fell from grace, but I was proud to have crawled back up with my own power. Thank you, me. Thank you for not giving up. Well done. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you all, too. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you for getting swept away in the atmosphere. Thank you. Please continue to be sheeple. Even after you graduate and enter society as an adult, please stay as livestock forever. I was grateful to everything in this world. A sound flowed out of the auditorium speakers. Sun be nim. The applause did not let up. The sound coming from the speakers was initially buried by the noise. However, the broadcasting club president adjusted the volume, and the sound became louder. Is it okay to take pictures of this? I wiped away my tears. I wasn't sure, but it seemed like the broadcasting club president was playing a video. I turned around, and I saw a certain video being projected on the dark walls of the auditorium. Don't worry about it. A familiar face appeared in the video. I'm just gonna show a few people and delete it. It was me. Hello, dear guests. Today is the return of the long-awaited Kim Yol TV. But I've received many notes saying that Kim Yol TV is tacky. I agree. I couldn't believe my eyes. In the video, I was holding my camcorder and recording my face. I was filming Kim Yol. It was from before the game had begun in earnest. The kids were having fun, messing around with Kim Yol. But I don't have a good sense for naming things. Everyone. I would be grateful if you could submit a name for the series directly with a note. What? Now, let's keep the introduction short. How will we play with Kim Yol today? Many people made suggestions. Among those who put in an entry today, the one who won the honor is Tada. All of the students gathered in the auditorium were buzzing. Queen. The teachers stared at the video. Congratulations. Let's announce Queen's request. Quickly moving. Quickly. Prepare 2 banana milk drinks. Put a centipede in one of them, and in the other. I was turning white. Huang Yunxiu, you crazy bastard, someone shouted. It was my girlfriend's voice. My girlfriend, who had gone back to her seat after her speech, stood up and screamed. You crazy bastard. Nut job. You bitch. I couldn't hear my girlfriend's voice very well. My head was simply blank. Instinctively, I turned my head to look at the broadcasting club president. He had his head bowed low and was holding a mouse connected to a laptop. I turned away again. This time, I looked at the class president. The class president was smiling. It was a very kind smile.